What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Wisdom Girl and Wise Women show. It's your girl, Wisdom Girl, aka Carmel Miller, and this is.
Hey everybody, I'm Wise Woman Leslie Christie.
And today, our topic is drumroll, please. Rise up.
Yes, rise up.
So, one of the things that holds us back from being fully present in the present. See what we did there. And living a full life is holding on to the past.
Yeah, sure.
Our past comes with so much baggage, and we try to drag this baggage into the future, regardless of how precious it may be. It will hold us back.
Mm-hmm.
Your past is exactly that. Your past.
Yeah.
The beauty of the past is that it is over.
Hallelujah.
And no one can change what happened there.
Yes.
But we can pause, look back for a moment, and then move on so we can rise up into the sunshine of today and all its promises. So stick with us, comment in the chat, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tag someone.
Yes, love it, love it, love it. Now, before we dig deep into it, we just want to tell you again that we are outside on the terrace hanging out together. So if you hear background noise, little chatter, people talking, just kind of hear over it, not look past it. Hear over it and just tune into what we're saying because today is a really, really important, good show. All right. So straight wisdom from the Bible. Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 through 19a from the Easy English Bible says this: Forget those things that happened a long time ago. You want to say something already?
No.
Okay. Let me finish reading it and then we'll jump in. Do not think about past events. Look, now I will do something that is new. It is already beginning to happen. Surely you can recognize it.
In other words, stop looking at your past, look forward.
Stop looking at your past, look forward.
Open your eyes.
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. Because the past, like you were saying in the beginning, the past is the past, and if we don't learn how to kind of let go so we can move forward, we will never see the things that God has prepared for us.
Let go and just let go and let God.
Yeah, because the scripture is saying, now I will do something that is new. So the now and the something new comes after you forget those things. Oh, come on, Holy Spirit. After you forget those things that happened a long time ago, so that's kind of the steps we have to take. Forget those things that happened a long time ago. Where you were, what you've done, who hurt you, who stabbed you in the back, how many times you stumbled, you fell, you sinned, blah, 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 right? Forget those things that happened a long time ago. And you know what? For females, and you got a long way to go before you really understand this. For females, we tend to hold on to things until we become mature enough to understand that's not healthy, that's not good. We hold on to past pain, past hurt, what somebody did, the past relationship, all this crap we hold on to. And the Bible is telling us, excuse me, to not think about those past events, but to and then it says, look, like, come on, people. Look, now I've done something new for you, and it's already begun to happen. And if you forget the past, then you will be able to recognize the newness that I've created for your life.
Yeah, you know what most people really don't understand is what most people really don't understand is that looking back makes you feel like you're still there. So that's what makes it even worse.
That's the truth. That is the truth. And who wants to look back to the things that hurt you, the things that that kept you bound? Who wants to look back at that? I sure don't.
People who let you down.
Yeah, I mean, why spend time in those spaces when you don't have to? When God created something new, brand new, a whole new life, a whole new experience.
Yeah,
I want the newness.
Wait, newness is a word?
Huh?
Or did we just make that up?
Newness?
Is that a word?
Yeah, that's a word.
Oh, I thought we just made it up.
No, we didn't.
It should. If it wasn't a word, it should be.
It would have been a good one.
Yeah. Like, who be coming up with the vocabulary?
Well, that's another show. I don't know, but it happens over time. New words kind of transpire, transform, come into being over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Proverbs 4:25-26 from the easy to read version says, "Keep your eyes on the path and look straight ahead. Make sure you are going the right way, and nothing will make you fall." Yeah, you know what? When I saw that first part, "Keep your eyes on the path," that reminded me of the I think it was a Nico's word. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on.
Yes, yeah.
So
who would think an 11-year-old would know that song, right? Anyway, go ahead.
I know a lot of things.
I know. I'm just saying.
I know a lot of songs that y'all don't even know.
True.
So, yeah, nothing will make you fall. Just go straight. Just go straight. That's like, well, okay. I'm gonna put it in perspective. I'm gonna use an example. I don't really know how to explain it, so I'm gonna use an example.
Okay.
You're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when you're driving,
mm-hmm.
let's say you want to go to, where are you gonna drive to? I don't know, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's say that.
Okay.
From New York or California.
Mm-hmm.
California's a little far. Anyway, let's say Google Maps or Apple Maps, or I don't know. Maybe you have a literal map.
Okay.
That let's say that's God or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever God, yeah. And he is guiding you, and he says, "Turn left, turn right." You're gonna listen, right? Because then, how are you to expect to get to your destination?
Yeah.
And when he says turn left, turn right, that represents the twists and turns in your life. And you can't keep looking back on your past because you say that it's easier. And nothing's gonna be easier if you keep looking back, because you'll miss. You listen. If you think that was easy, your brain was not working.
Wow.
Your brain was really not working.
Yeah.
You could not process what was going on. Your life was not better back then. And if you think it's better, it's only going to get more better the more that you deal with those twists and turns.
Yeah. I love that. Those twists and turns have purpose. They have meaning, right? Mm-hmm. And they add to life. As much as we don't really want to have those experiences, we have to. They help you grow.
That's how we're going to learn.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. If life was easy, nobody would make it to heaven.
Yeah, you've said that before, and
I have said that before. From Be Courageous, I said that several times.
Yeah.
If life was easy, nobody would be in heaven.
Yeah.
Except for Jesus and whoever else. If life was meant to be easy, Jesus wouldn't have been here.
That's true.
We would have had to deal with our own things, and probably 1/16, half the world would be gone.
Wow. That's a scary thought. Now, life was supposed to be fulfilling, and it was supposed to be pleasurable, and maybe some parts easy when God first created the garden and created Adam and Eve and mankind. But of course, the enemy.
Now, most people say that if it wasn't for Adam and Eve, life would be easy. How do you know that? You weren't there.
Come on. How would we know? How do we know?
You weren't even there.
Yeah.
Sure, God had you on his mind, but were you here? I mean, most people say that they had a past life or whatever. Okay, maybe you did. Don't care. Really don't. You're here right now in 2023 or 2023.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, if you were alive, if you had a life in 1930 or whatever, so be it. That's your past life. But you're here right now to learn something that you never got a chance to learn back then.
Come on, that's right.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Most people say with Adam and Eve that life would have been a lot easier. Like, ma'am, sir, you weren't there. How do you know?
Right.
I bet you Moses was still gonna have to rescue the Israelites.
Come on.
Jesus would have still had to die.
Come on, preacher. Yes.
Like,
Yeah. For
make
sure.
it make sense.
For sure.
Of course, Adam and Eve did make a mistake whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why y'all shaming? Like, I know they're not here on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
but like, well, maybe they are.
No, they're long
No?
gone.
Well,
That
I'm
would
saying
be a
it'd
crazy miracle.
That would be a crazy miracle.
If
If Adam and I bet you that most people say it's just so much going on in your mind that you can't even like.
yeah,
Sorry, yeah, make it make sense.
yeah, yeah,
And plus, if Adam and Eve, even if Adam and Eve didn't do what they did with the enemy or whatever, and trusted God and stuff,
Mhm.
they would have still made mistakes.
That's true.
Like maybe it wasn't watering the grass, or watering the grass,
Ooh, I
or watering the
love
trees,
that.
or
yeah,
feeding
because
the
that
animals.
was their responsibility that God gave them.
Exactly, they did everything except for eating. Like they would have still made mistakes,
Yeah,
and God would still forgive them. You would have still struggled, even if Adam and Eve didn't even exist.
yeah, yeah. So true. Come on, wisdom nuggets galore. So very true. So very true. And we don't even consider that. I love when you said, why we shame Adam and Eve? Because we would have still made mistakes. There would have still been mistakes.
Like,
I love that.
if you're gonna like, I have this thing to
Y'all better listen to this one right here.
I have this thing where I say, instead of saying if you got nothing to say, don't say it.
Mhm.
That I'm like, but they could still say the same thing in a different way. Like if you want to call somebody ugly, then say you're then you could say your lips look big. That's still saying you're ugly. Like what?
With the same mindset, same
purpose,
goal,
same purpose.
goal.
They just want to say it in a different way. It still has the same point. Like
yeah.
So I say, if you have something mean to say it to yourself and see how it feels.
Mm.
And that's what I say. So you want to be ashamed of Adam and Eve for making their mistake? Say whatever you got to say that you feel like you got to say to them. Say it to yourself and see how it feels to be constantly being provoked.
Yeah.
And being provoked and hurt by your past.
Yeah. Right. Because that's what we're trying to get people to understand, to not dwell on your past. Like,
and that's the goal of the enemy. Don't even try
it. Exactly. He wants us to stay in those places of pain and those places of vulnerability.
Like, and you're like in your wrongest. Let's say you've already been. Let's say you're my age. You are crying because you got bullied, okay? And next minute you hear somebody that you love died. Like that, like, and that's where the enemy strikes, right in your moments of vulnerability.
Yes.
We're already feeling bad, and they feel like you gotta turn to him because you're trying to make, I don't know, you're trying to make him feel better or whatever.
Right.
Like, do you know how many times he tried and failed? Like, at this point, I don't know why. Like, people really just want to be going in things worldly, and people who can't even win. Like, and I'm not talking about winning the spelling bee. Right. Although I'm not talking about that. We're talking about, although if you did, congratulations, good for you. But we're talking about things like, we're talking like, not even, we're talking a few centuries. We're talking like probably like 50 centuries of wars that are not even done like on Earth.
Right.
It's literally between Jesus, God, and the enemy.
Yeah. Those heavenly wars.
The spiritual war. It's not even that. This has been going on for centuries.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying you have to be careful, because you have to be careful to not get too comfortable with God.
Wow.
Like I'm listen. Hear me out. Don't say, well, when some girls say that to being comfortable. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, you gotta be having a conversation. You could be having fun. You could be laughing with God. Sometimes there were several times where Jesus had to not get too comfortable with God. I'm not gonna lie. Even though that's you still got that father son thing going on up there in heaven too, not just here on earth. But just saying that there were several times where we got too comfortable with God. Like, oh, you could be laughing, having fun, having a feast or whatever, but you can, like, if God says, oh, how is life on earth, and you say, Well, you say, oh, you can't say, oh, I'm surprised you don't know. You just ask them to get smacked in the face.
Yeah.
Like don't
Yeah.
get too comfortable and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
you like
Always come with respect. Always
Exact-
come
come
with
with res-
honor.
yeah.
You know, and remember who he is. You know, he's not your boy
He's
or
not
your girl.
he's not. I mean, yes, he is the vibe. He is the person you want to be around. But like, chill. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened to the enemy. He got way too comfortable with
Way
God
too comfortable.
too many times,
Yep.
and God got tired of it.
Yep.
So he sent him right to the, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So that's why we have to be careful, because it's not just, it's kind of hard, because I know it's hard, because the world is caught in the middle between a spiritual war that's been happening for centuries. It is hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's not going to be. It's going to be very hard.
Mhm.
Probably more as you grow up, because then you're going to get more wiser, and you're going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And for me, I made that choice very young.
Yes, you did.
Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, when I preach and stuff like that, I like to do that. That's how I worship God. But also, it's easier or better for me. It doesn't matter how you worship God. I'm not gonna lie, but it has to be something that you can't say, "Oh, I worship God." You have to actually mean it, and you can have your own different way of worshiping Him.
Yeah.
Like my way. Listen, I preach, but my favorite way of worshiping God is dancing. I like to dance, right?
Yeah.
Hers is probably preaching, and my mom's is singing.
Mhm.
And my dad. But you know, or some people for some people it might be praying. That's how they find easier to connect with God.
Yeah.
But you can have your own way of worshiping Him, and some people, you know, we gotta stop judging, okay? Like you have your own perspective on the same thing. Like, don't feel like everybody gotta do the same thing you gotta do, because just because you're worshiping God doesn't mean that you're doing it the way that it's meant to be. Because if you're judging somebody for worshiping God in a specific type of way, that's a worldly thing. That's not even heavenly. You can still worship God, do whatever you want to do, but you have to be careful in your habits.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. I love that. And what you're saying ties into Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16 from the Message Bible. And it says, no matter how many times you trip them up, God loyal people don't stay down long. Soon they're up on their feet, while the wicked end up flat on their faces.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta say something. Like, when I be in church or stuff like that, before we went online, there was this one time where you were singing a song, where we were singing a song, and we had like praise and worship the whole service.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And then sometimes I just be staring. Sometimes I just be staring on the floor, and I'm just be like, you should just give up, man. Just give up, man. Like, you've been losing for about 50 centuries. Just give up, man.
Just give up.
Just admit to your mistake. Just rule your area and stop trying to get with us. Like, man, like, like, sir, you're done. You're done. Just turn around and walk away in pity. Yeah, you've been doing that for a few centuries now. I'm pretty sure you're used to it. Just go do that. Yeah, my goodness. Bye. Like, please.
Yeah, and you know, and he's a master at just trying to get us to like remember, like we could be in the high worship and the high, you know, we're all just in the glory of God. And then as soon as we leave church, like the next, you hit your home. Sometimes before you even hit your home, He wants to take you back to a place where God has already delivered you from, to a place where God has already pulled you out of. So you never rise up. You never fully rise up. You never fully are in today, in the present, right? You're never presently in the space you're supposed to be in, because you're holding on. Or, you know, being sucked into back to the past.
Vacuum.
Yeah, like it's not Back to the Future. That movie is Back to the Past.
So yeah, and sometimes things that Christians do tend to do. And I'm not coming for all of it. I'm not coming for all of us. Basically, what we tend to do is that when when the enemy tries to pull us back
Mhm.
from tries to pull us back to the past that God has already delivered us from,
Uh-huh.
some people judge them for the way they avoid it. Like,
Okay.
do what makes you happy to avoid that.
Wow.
Like, some people's happy place might be in a church or whatever. It might be just go back to the church and just take a break,
Yeah.
for a second. Or some people, like I would recommend, go out to eat with family, and that's like, do what makes you happy. Stop doing that.
Right. Being
or maybe it's being under a tree and read.
Right.
Sitting under a tree
being
and
a
read.
space that allows you to be
to
move
clear
forward,
your
to
mind,
move forward.
yeah.
To clear your mind and move forward, move beyond. So you
Yeah.
can remember where you came from and not be stuck.
Yeah, it could be home watching
in
a
the
movie
past.
with some popcorn. I mean, if that's your happy place, that's your happy place.
You know what my happy place is? You probably
The
I have
laundry
two.
room.
Well no.
Oh.
That's my favorite chore, but it's definitely not my happy place. But I have two happy places.
Okay.
One, we were there yesterday.
Mhm.
Think about it.
The park?
After we ate.
I ate what? The ice
You
cream.
forgot? Yesterday. Where did our whole family go yesterday?
We went out to IHOP.
And after we ate, where did we go? Where were we?
Home.
How did you get your books? Where did we get them
from? Bookstore. Yes.
But Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. We were begging to go.
So that's my happy place. Books and Barnes and Nobles is just my absolute favorite store. That is my happy place. So reading, books, and all of that. And then the second happy place is but gardening. Just if I'm having a bad day, if I'm having if I'm upset, I'm in the garden. I'll put on some music, some worship music, usually Todd Delaney or whatever, shuffle, Tamala Man, the Tamala Man groupie over here, president of the groupie club.
It's only me right now.
Or I will put on some classical music, just to kind of get my mind off things.
Sometimes, she's not gonna say this, but sometimes she puts on, a movie soundtrack, or put on a movie soundtrack from like a favorite movie or something like. Sometimes you put on The Lion King, Aladdin, or like I don't know.
Yeah, something.
And I like to be in the garden. Like sometimes she'll be planting new plants. I'll be picking the strawberries.
Yeah.
Anybody remember familiar color purple?
But what that does when you're in your happy space, when you're in that, it clears your mind
and it makes you feel close, especially when you're outside.
Yeah,
like it makes you feel a lot closer to God, and
it causes you to rise above.
Yeah,
those things that are trying to hold you back.
Yeah, when you were living in your area with mountains, what was it? Pennsylvania,
Eastern
Pennsylvania. Yeah, PA, right?
Mm-hmm.
What really made me happy was that, if you don't know, my name means mountain in the garden. So what made me feel like that is that there's no way there's possibly a mountain in a garden. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm in Pennsylvania, before she moved, when she was in Pennsylvania, I absolutely love going there. Why?
Yeah.
Because it was like a garden with many mountains, and it made me feel like I was special. My name was special. My name was chosen for special. After years of attempting to change it, I finally, anytime I would go to Pennsylvania, I went to Pennsylvania more often, because we had to go somewhere every summer. So I was spending a lot of time over there more.
Mm-hmm.
It made me feel like maybe I should stop changing my name. Maybe my name means something different, because that means that I stand out. That's why I like my name.
Yeah.
Because I stand out, and the fact that my middle name was on my name's mountain.
Right.
Elisha was on Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
To Frey made me really feel closer to God. So that's why I always love going to Pennsylvania. And now she's stuck in Florida. I'm disappointed.
Well, there are good things in Florida too. But my heart is still in Pennsylvania. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
But also, now that I'm here in the Westchester community, when I go over to the other side, like Yonkers or something like that,
There's the mountain.
There's the mountains,
water.
the golf course. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I
so
found my spot.
yeah.
So here's some quotes.
Go.
You can't move forward if you're still hanging on. That's very true.
Come on.
You're still hanging on. If you're still hanging on,
You can't move forward.
yeah. Well, unless you're hanging from a tree. So that's
What?
another story.
Okay, yeah.
That's another story. You have to have a trampoline under you, or a pillow, or a mattress, or something.
Okay.
To let
But
go,
if you're still hanging on
to
to
the past,
if you're still hanging on to hurt, if you're still hanging on to disappointment, if you're still hanging on to failure, sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with a person. It has to do with you, how you feel about you, where you failed, where you tripped up, you felt like you weren't good enough, you didn't work hard enough, right? If you're still hanging on to that, you cannot move forward. It's just plain and simple as that. You just can't.
It's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So leave who you were, love who you are, look forward to who you will become. And that's from the podcast Fearless Soul. I love that. You can't get any more plainer than that. I'm gonna say it again in case you're writing it down, because it's so plain. We don't even need to elaborate on that one. Leave who you were. Okay. Come on, think about who you were. Leave that. Leave it in the past. Love who you are right now. And look forward, in other words, look forward to who you will become. So what this is saying is, don't hold on to the past, which is leave who you were, love who you are, which is move on, right? And look forward to who you will become.
In other words,
rise up.
Or in other words, God said, love who you are right now, and you're gonna grow. I don't care if you like how you growing. I don't care. You're gonna grow the way I say you're gonna grow. You got a problem with it? You can take it up with me. Just make sure you don't get too comfortable, because I will gladly put you in the place that I put the enemy.
Oh, well then I guess God done said that one. All right. So what's our last quote?
We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. Rick Warren.
Yeah. We are products.
Don't you have one of his books?
I do. I have several.
I think I read like the first chapter of one.
He's the one who wrote oh my God.
The Bait of Satan?
No. Who wrote Why We Are Here. Oh my gosh. Lord, it just slipped me just like that. You know, when you get older, you need like ginkgo biloba or something. But anyway, never mind. But we are products of our past. Okay, we can't change the past. We can't, do anything about it. What we did. Where we were. What happened. You cannot change it. But we don't have to be prisoners of it. So don't stay there. Don't lock yourself in that. Okay, so we want you again to rise up. All right, rise up from your past. Rise up from where you are. Rise up out of those, those stinky waters, those murky. Rise up out of your own self-doubt, your own. Come on, love yourself. You're worth it. You're the bomb. Come on, we think so. BombDiggity.com. So love yourself. Rise up, so you can be who you're supposed to be.
Diggity?
The BombDiggity.com.
You need to talk. Yeah. If you have grandkids or children, please ask them to tell you the new.
You mean to tell me BombDiggity.com is not? Y'all don't say that.
You can you can say the bomb.com.
The bomb.com.
Yeah.
All right.
We still say the bomb.com. Yeah.
Okay. See, that's our saying. So
the bomb.
Their generation be trying to steal from us.
Still, did you say period back then? Did you say period says? Did you say
no? We're not talking about that. We talk about the bombdiggity.com or
we still say the bomb.com.
The bomb.com. That's from my generation. Anyway, so what's our next week's show?
Write your story.
Write your story. Now that's so true to my heart. That's dear to my heart is what I'm trying to say. Write your story, because that's something I say all the time. Always have said to my children, particularly my daughter, my grandchildren, don't let anybody write the story for you.
No, don't cry.
I'm not gonna cry. Don't let anybody write your story. You write it yourself. All right, but that's next week.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms, and don't forget to visit www.wisdomgrowwisewomen.com. And we will see you next week with a very special show.
Yes, we love you. Bye-bye now.